Alright, so this is a 3 Tesla model battery pack, which we're going to use to run our Golden motor, 72 volts. This gives you an idea about how big. It's 1 foot wide from here to here. It's about 10.5 inches high and 30 inches long. Of course, you can arrange those how you like. Now I got that cable coming over to the motor, and we have our Golden motor set up with a controller, and I'm going to show you how the whole thing wires together. It's pretty much plug and play. We've got the motor has 6 wires, but there's 2 blues, 2 greens, and 2 yellows. And the yellows go to the U, and you see that little U there. And then we have green in the middle and blue on the other side, which we can see on our schematic here. Green, blue, and W. Alright, the other thing that plugs into the motor is this right here. Now, the motor actually has 2 of these sensor plugs, because I believe the motor can run on 2 of these controllers. I think you could take 2 of these controllers and put them together, and if you wanted a whole lot of power. But this already is 72 volts at 500 amps. So, yeah, it's quite a bit of power already. That's about 35 horsepower peak. Actually, a little more. But so now, what's all these other wires? Well, we got our contactor here, and our contactor goes between the positive here and our battery. This you'll put your big cable in and crimp him down, and but right now we're using this cable. What we have running the contactor is our negative wire there. This is for our 12 volt wire that, or not 12, but actually 72 volt wire that engages the contactor. One goes to negative, which we have on the negative, and the other goes to the key switch wire, which we have right here. Key switch wire goes on the side of the contactor that's always on. Just so and if we look on our key switch thing, we've got one coming into it, which comes into our key switch, and we have a light, kind of a pink wire going out there, and then we've got 2 others. One goes to our water pump, and that's his setup there, and the other goes to our contactor. So when you turn the key on, basically, it engages the contactor, and also this wire here, this little pink wire, which is all in the wiring harness. So everything plugs in. There won't be any problem with everything just plugging in. Now our throttle, he plugs into this 3-pin. And that's the other good thing about this setup, is everything has its individual plugs. They can't be mismatched. So that plugs into our throttle, and our throttle's over here, and we give him a little bit of, and we see that our motor is actually spinning in reverse, and that's because I've got it in reverse. Now all we got to do is a plug on here and a switch. I used this pump thing here but here is our, see it says reverse. So all we got to do is turn our switch on and we get reverse. But you say you don't need a reverse, so we don't get a reverse. Of course, some of this will depend on which way your transmission works. So I unplugged that, and now we see, as we're looking at it, it's going to spin clockwise. And that's all there is to it. All right. So, B plus coming in here to the contactor, that's your crimp for your cable. It also goes into the one side of the key switch. And when it comes out of the key switch, it goes to both our contactor and our pump over here. So you turn on the switch and the pump comes on. And that's about it. Nothing too hard. Now, of course, on this side of the contactor, we're going to have a big heavy cable that comes from here over to the B plus on our fuse. So that's what this yellow wire is. This is our negative, and it says B negative, and this says B positive, and it's positive. So there we go. Pretty simple. I think you won't have any trouble with this.